Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you are a new viewer, please keep in mind that these build videos are focused around Warframe and weapon synergies, with all the other endgame loot in between. They're tailored to a particular playstyle that may not be for everyone. Feel free to use elements of the build to make one of your own. With that being said, today's video we're going to be looking at Banshee and how I play her in an endurance survival, both with a team and solo. It's a sort of steamrolling playstyle where if you slow down you're going to be dead pretty quickly. We're going to be using the Kuva to get our 10 stacks of viral and heat procs, while using the Cronin Prime for ridiculous range, status procs, and of course juicy red crits. Some say Banshee is trash. I'm here to tell you, you're doing it wrong.
Banshee.
So there's definitely been a lot of changes since the last time I made a build video, and I will have to update a lot of videos now that the status changes have come in. I have to say the armor scaling is a bit iffy for me. I think personally the enemies are now really too weak in terms of damage, and numbers that you are portraying seem very inconsistent. From 43 damage to 56 million is a bit of a stretch for me to even do any kind of testing really. Anyway, that's besides the point. We have to work with what we've got, and well, this build isn't really about number chasing, and believe me, I've hit damage cap with Banshee plenty of times, but staying alive and making sure you can steamroll through enemies quick enough is really what makes or breaks a decent Banshee build in my opinion. So let's have a look at the Banshee build itself, then we'll go into some tips and tricks on how to stay alive. So in the aura slot we have Brief Respite, which is basically best in slot now for most Warframes if they have shields, simply because it allows you to take advantage of shield gating. Enemy radar to see enemies on the map. We have Prime Continuity and Narrow-Minded for our duration, and more importantly the minus range, which is then going to be counteracted with Stretch. We have Rolling Guard for our iframes and dot removal, a Resonance to be able to keep proccing sonar on enemies, a Natural Talent for casting speed. This is going to synergize with Rolling Guard for the use of getting our shields back. Prime Flow for energy management, and Transient Fortitude for additional strength. We've got lots of duration, so it doesn't even matter. You could swap this out for Fleeting Expertise if you like. Honestly, it doesn't really matter which one. There's similar results with both. And if you're doing focus farming, you might want to swap out Prime Flow for Savage Silence. This augment's going to allow you to not break stealth affinity multipliers while mowing through enemies affected by the silence. It is also worth mentioning that I am using Arcane Energize to maintain my energy pool. Sometimes that's just not enough and you will have to use energy pads as a substitute, because we will be using Narrowmon as our focus school so that we can not worry about combo counter on our melee weapon. And now on to an example of shield gating with Brief Respite and Rolling Guard. Pay close attention to my health here. As I take some damage, my shield gating goes on. I then utilize Rolling Guard to roll backwards, and as I finish the roll, I cast my wand, which is going to gain me some shields thanks to Brief Respite. Just a quick example here of Silence's range and the sweet spot, as I like to call it. By all means, play around with different ranges if you like, but for me this was just the perfect optimal range to make sure enemies were CC'd within range of killing distance. Coming up next we have the Kuva, which I have a base of heat damage so that I can strip some armor, and we're going to be using it to get the 10 stacks of viral. It also procs radiation as a base damage for the new core in general. We have Hornet Strike for core damage. Ignore that this one isn't fully upgraded, it's a new account. Pistol Pestilence and Frostbite to get our viral and status chance. Eject Magazine and Reflex Draw are going to be really essential to be able to swap between weapons and reload while we're meleeing. Gunslinger for fire rate, Pistol Gambit and Target Cracker for crit chance and crit damage, and Lethal Torrent for a bit more fire rate and multi-shot. You can definitely play around with this build and maybe even try Barrel Diffusion or Runeous Extension for more range. You definitely want to keep on Eject Magazine so you have no downtime during firing, because when you use your melee weapon, it's classed as holstering the weapon, passively reloading the new core for you, so you have no downtime when using it. So coming up next we have the Cronin Prime. Now I haven't chosen this weapon because it has really high big burst damage numbers with the sonar or anything. but more for the fact it has a really high base range, and especially with primed reach you can get over 10 meters with Sovereign Outcast's forward block combo. It also has great status chance and crit too, but here's an example of the range coming up. This footage here is with a Riven and you're going to get about 13 meters on average, and without a Riven with just primed reach you're looking at 10 meters. This is using the forward block combo, meaning you need forward momentum while holding the block button and then tapping the melee. Now for the non-Riven build, we've got Sovereign Outcast, which is essential so that you can get that throw that we just discussed. We have Gladiator Might, which you could swap out for maybe a Smite mod if you like, Berserker for attack speed, Condition Overload for obviously your core damage, Blood Rush and Weeping Runes for our crit and status, Primed Reach essential for that throw range, Primed Fever Strike for our toxin damage, and Sacrificial Steel, even more crit chance so that we can squeeze in a few red crits. Without it, you're not going to get red crits. By all means, if you're not too fussed about that, you could just maybe try Smite and crit damage. My Riven, however, though, I swapped up, and you could either put Organ Shatter, or if you want to squeeze a bit more red crits out of it, Gladiator Might, or a Smite mod, whatever you want, it all works pretty much the same. Now the reason behind the Toxin Damage is because gas is dead, and well, Toxin is going to bypass shields, and we're also doing a lot of slash as well. We're basically guaranteeing that we do 2 lots of instances of damage that avoid resistances, and we're already getting our 10 stacks of viral and stripping armor with heat from our new core, meaning that this setup really did just decimate anything it came into contact with no bias. You're also going to get some forced impact procs, which might help with a bit of stagger after silence wears off, if those enemies are lucky enough to survive the first barrage that you hit them with. By all means, if you don't really like the idea of a utility weapon, Viral works just great and so does Corrosive. I just found better results overall in Endurance with Toxin. Now the reason we're using additional crit chance on the melee is because we're not getting it from the Helios and the Deconstructor with the Gladiator mods. That's a very popular choice for a stat stick, but unfortunately in Endurance, if you die and have to resurrect yourself, you will lose that Gladiator mod set bonus permanently. And I just find that the Djinn can be a bit more useful with these mods, and of course Vacuum if you needed me to spell that out for you, but Guardian is a really solid option now for Sentinels. That's about it for the build part of the video. If you have any other questions about the build, by all means please comment down below, and please just use this as a guideline for your own builds. Make your own synergies, test things yourself, and if you find something you prefer, by all means use it. I just share my experiences, of course. I know tension is quite high within the community at the moment, and I hope everyone is staying safe and staying indoors in these current troubling times. I can't thank all of you enough for all the support that you guys have been giving the channel recently, especially those who follow me over onto Twitch, follow me on Twitter, and those who have joined the Discord. Thank you guys so much. The music for this video has been created by an artist called Extra Terra from France. He's an incredible artist. Please go and check him out. I will leave some links to his Bandcamp. Please go and donate to him to download his tracks. He really does deserve it. I'll leave some links for my Discord and Twitter. I do leave a lot of the artwork and stuff that I've done for my videos in a special Zen Arts folder on Discord, so come say hi. Other up and coming projects I thought I'd tell you guys about. I am working on a very secretive trailer. And of course, I've got the mag build from the 10k level enemy video to finish as well. Thinking of doing an Excal one maybe afterward, but we will see. Guys, thank you so much for joining the channel and watching the videos. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed what you see. Tell me if you don't, I suppose. I'm sure you probably will. Best of luck and please stay safe. Thank you so much. Ciao for now.